Hi guys, welcome back, and we've now looked at the sus2 and the sus4 chords, and at the level we're at theory-wise, we've delved in deep enough to them, okay? As you progress through theory, things start to change and you can use things in different environments, but for now, let's just get a really good basic understanding of these chords. Now, today we're looking at augmented chords, okay? And it's the kind of it's probably the least used triad chord out there. But if you can find a use for it, it's a cool and awesome sounding chord, okay? So let's just come over to the board and have a little look at what this is, okay? So first of all, we're going to be doing a C augmented chord. We've got our C major scale, so we're going to be working with that, okay? So first of all, let's write it out. Augmented, hopefully I'm spelling this right. Please excuse me if I'm not. And you typically see it as aug, A-U-G. Or potentially, you might even see just a little plus symbol, okay? So for example, if I saw a chord that was written C plus, that would literally mean C augmented, okay? So it might be something you come across. It's not that common. You're probably more likely to see aug like that, but just be aware of it. That's kind of what it essentially means, okay? Now, let's have a little look at what the formula is for an augmented chord. Okay, so I'm just going to put an equals here, and we're going to go 1, 3, and then sharp 5. Okay, so let's just break that down. The root and the major third, or just the natural third, I guess we should probably call it, means that this initially is like a major chord. So it's got elements of a major chord in it rather than minor. So that's cool. Now, it's this sharp 5 that makes all the difference in this chord. That is the bit that makes it sound augmented, okay? And you'll hear, when you'll kind of put this together, that it's quite a hard sound to listen to. It's very dissonant. It's kind of like a diminished effect, you know, it doesn't sound resolved in any way, shape or form. It kind of has the same idea here in the augmented, you know, we're doing something to this 5. So in diminished, we flatten the 5. In the augmented, we sharpen the 5. Anytime you touch the 5, which is your most comfortable note after the root note, root and 5, you know, it's like a power chord type thing, you're going to sound a little bit weird, okay? So you've got to get your ears around this. Now, let me just go through this with you. So root is going to be the C. Then the third is the E. And then if we come over to the G, which is the 5, we need to sharpen that, so we get a G sharp, okay? So what I'd recommend doing now is just pausing the video for a second, picking up a guitar and trying to put together a C, an E, and a G sharp anywhere on the fretboard, and just have a listen to this chord, okay? It is pretty hard to hear, okay? And probably, you know, if you're a beginner in the world of guitar and theory, you're just going to think it sounds rubbish, basically. And it kind of does, especially out of context. It's a very hardcore chord, okay? Later on, further down the line, you know, there are uses for this augmented chord, and it can be used in blues, in rock, in jazz, and it can, in the right context, sound really nice, really sweet, and create the right amount of tension that generally will resolve back to the correct chord, okay? And that's one really good way to think about augmented chords. And you could probably pile in diminished chords with that as well, that they're kind of tension chords, chords that need resolving, okay? So your major chords, your minor chords, they're resolved. Let's call them perfect. They sound great, okay? These kind of chords, augmented chords especially, need resolving. Okay, that's kind of why they're here in a very roundabout way. So that's your augmented chord, guys. We've now got all the basic ones, major, minor, diminished. We've got sus2, sus4, augmented, and next time we're going to have a little test.